Welcome to ReWild Your Business. I'm your host, Jill Mokes. I am so happy you are back with me again this week. Unless this is the first time that you have heard the podcast, in which case, welcome. I'm so happy that you found us. So, what are we talking about this week? I want to talk to you about offers this week. And it's kind of loosely tied in with what we talked about last week around ego. I really see a connection here in terms of creating offers that are pretty performative because we're trying to create something that fits with what's already out there and compares favorably to what's already out there, right? You know, we want to be seen to be putting out a good example of a group coaching program or a digital course or whatever it is. And so we kind of almost relish emulating what someone else has done that has worked for them, because it's a little bit comforting to us, isn't it? To think, well, I know that a 12-week group coaching program with a community and X number of modules and, you know, just all of the standard things that we see in all of them. There's a comfort in knowing that we've got it right because it must be right because that's how other people are doing it. I want to challenge that. I want to think about what if there was no ego? What if there was no care or desire to emulate what someone else was doing? What if nothing had ever existed and you were the first person to actually be creating an offer to serve your ideal clients? What would it look like? And how would you know what it should look like? So that's the topic for today. The topic for today is, creating offers that aren't cookie cutter. The offers that make your clients feel more seen, more understood than anything else out there. And of course, offers that you can deliver without burning yourself out. There's definitely the two factors have to work together there. Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to ReWild Your Business, the podcast for women doing the work their soul intended. I'm Jill Mokes. I'm an international business coach and I'm a guide for women doing the work that matters. Rewilding your business means cutting away what doesn't belong to allow what does to thrive, finding simplicity in your work. And it's about bringing the whole of who you are to the table, whether you're building something new or finding your way back to what really matters to you. I'm so glad you're here. So the problem, as I see it, is that most coaches simply don't start with their clients when it comes to designing their programs. And this isn't just coaches, by the way. This is any service providers. This is anyone who is working with clients either one-to-one or in a group, or maybe it's digital courses. You know, however you're working with your clients, most people will start with what they've seen other people do. So if you're a coach, you're going to look at what do other coaches offer? Is it 12-week programs? Is it 6 months? Is it a mastermind? Is it a VIP day? Is it a digital course? Is it workshops? You know, what is it? How are other people doing it? How are other people like me doing it? That's what we'll tend to start with. And of course, there is nothing wrong with any of those containers that I just listed off there. All of them very valid. For the right clients, very valid. But if you are picking a vehicle, container, whatever you want to call it, just because it looks right or it looks good, or just because it's what everyone else is doing, then you're going to end up with an offer that looks and feels like everyone else's. And the problem with that, of course, is that there's a lot of them out there, people. There's a lot of options out there. And you're doing yourself a disservice. You're really doing yourself a disservice by not creating something that's much deeper, that's really an offer that only you could create. I hope that when you hear that, it straight away rings true. I hope that you're hearing that and thinking, well, yeah, duh. Obviously, I want to create something that's unique. I want to create something that's really me. But think about it. we kind of just scratch the surface with making it unique. In other words, we'll say, well, I'm going to come up with an offer. Yes, it's a 12-week program. Yes, it's got so many modules. Yes, it's this and yes, that, but mine's going to have a really unique name. And we think that's enough for us to stand out. But if you really want your ideal clients to see you and to actually feel in their heart that you are the person they want to invest in working with, you're going to need to take a completely different approach to designing your offer. And that means you have to start with your clients, not with what other people in your industry are doing. Okay? So come back to your clients and go deep into what they really want and need. We've talked about this lots on the podcast. So not just their obvious kind of high level goals that they talk about, but what are their really deep pain points and what are their really deep soul level desires? What is the future that they secretly want for themselves, but don't even know how to start talking about? What is that? What are the things that they simply don't even have the language for yet, but that you, because you've done the deep work of getting to know your ideal clients, what are those things? And what are the real pain points underneath the surface problems that they talk about? Once you go deep enough, then you can create offers that are not performative. They're not about comparing what you do with other coaches. They are just solely about really responding to what your clients want and need. I believe that if you can start, and I'm going to use a bit of coach speak here, but I know most of you are coaches, so therefore you're going to understand what I'm talking about. If you can start with what do my ideal clients need to feel fully held and fully empowered, right? Start from there. Maybe you want to hit pause on the podcast and just jot a few things down here. So what do my clients need to feel fully held? In other words, what do they need to feel safe, to feel like they are being supported to bring out the truth of what they want and need? What would that container look like? And what do they really need to feel empowered? What can you do to make them feel like they can take what they're learning from you or take what they are achieving in working with you and move forward with it? Own it and move forward. So this is, again, it's forget about the container for a moment and really go deep with what do they actually need to feel fully held, fully empowered. And only once you've answered that, can you start to layer in what do I need to feel energized and to be able to deliver this without burning out. That is the sweet spot. It's going as deep as you possibly can with your offer to deliver what your client wants and needs, while at the same time being able to sustainably give that level of service to your client. The truth is, and I'm pretty sure I've said this a lot too, I do tend to repeat myself a lot on the podcast, but there is a reason for that. The stuff that really matters doesn't change. So I know I keep coming back to how well do you understand your ideal clients? But that's because it's so freaking important. I know I come back to creating really irresistible offers, but that is because if you don't, you're not going to be able to sell what you do. You're not going to be able to make any money or make any impact. So the things that actually matter don't change. That's why I come back to them all the time. And this is one of them. The most powerful offers are not about more calls, more bonuses, more modules, right? Honestly, no one wants more. What they want is the actual thing that's going to move the needle for them. And what makes an offer really powerful is nuance. Perfect fit. So this is where it's that true tight alignment between what your people want and need and how you can deliver it at your best. That's the magic. That's the sweet spot. It's not about piling in extra stuff It's about crafting something that is so intentional that for your client, their success with it feels inevitable. And this is what isn't, for the most part, out there already. So if you are only looking at what already exists and those very generic containers, 3-month program, 6-month program, mastermind, VIP day, and you're just looking at the container and you're not going deep enough, right? Then you will not have the level of nuance it takes so that your client understands this is the exact experience they need to invest in. Because if they do, they feel like their success is inevitable. That just, for the most part, isn't out there. Honestly, there are so many offers out there. We know the coaching industry, the digital course industry, the healing industry, whatever industry it is that you work in, we know these are saturated spaces now. These are all things to which there is a very low barrier to entry. And so there are tons of offers out there. But honestly, hand on heart, how many of them do you think when you look at them, yeah, I can see that would definitely work. Success would be absolutely inevitable if I were to sign up for that. You don't. And that is why we see so many serial course takers, serial program takers, I have worked with clients before who have invested in so many different programs, before they found me and signed up to work with me. And it's because they have not found something that has worked for them yet. If they had, they wouldn't keep investing in something new, something different. And if you want to create something that is actually impactful in the world, that isn't just more noise, then you need to create that thing where if the client does the work, then you are meeting them with inevitable success. What I want you to think about is how can I stop creating offers that are just designed to kind of look the part alongside what the other people in my industry are doing? And how can I start creating offers that are so freaking unique and so designed to work for my ideal clients? How can I do that? Not tick box offers, but genuine experiences that speak to the pain points and the desires that your clients actually have, not just what other people in your industry think that the clients that you both serve have. You've got to speak to your ideal clients. You've got to do those ideal client interviews that I talk about all the time. Anyone who works in a service-based industry should be setting up regular calls with people who represent ideal clients so they can talk to them about the things that actually matter to them, so that they can create offers that are nuanced enough to feel like success with that offer for that client will be inevitable. It's so important. And remember, your offer doesn't have to be complex. It's not about how you can make it unique because it's got so much in it. It just has to be truly answering what your ideal clients want and need. Actually, I think sometimes taking this rewilding viewpoint on creating your offer and thinking, how simple could my offer be? That can often be a really good place to start. How simple could the answer be? Is it right under my nose? This isn't anything I've done or anything I've seen anyone else do. So I'm just going to think of something like kind of weird. Is it just a WhatsApp community and nothing else? I get nothing else. It's a WhatsApp and you go in there twice a day and answer questions. Right? I'm not saying that that's a great offer, but you get my point. Don't just look at the way other people are doing things. Look at what do my clients really want and need and what would serve them best. What kind of vehicle, what kind of container would best provide that for them whilst also enabling me to deliver it in the best way that I possibly can. So I've got 3 journaling prompts, as always, for you to take away and think about this week. The first one is, if I stripped away what's normal in my industry, what would my clients actually want and need from me? If I stripped away what's normal, what's expected, if I strip that away, what would my ideal clients actually want and need? The second prompt is, what makes me feel most energized and most able to show up at my best? And how can I design an offer around that? So this one is about really being honest about, how do you perform at your best for your clients? Is it in a one-to-one container? Is it on stage? Is it in a group container? Is it on a podcast? So think about, how do I show up at my absolute best? And how can I design my offer around that? And then the third prompt I want you to think about is, what is one nuance that I could add or shift in my offer that would make the client experience more powerful than they ever imagined? I'm not going to give you any examples of that. I really want you to dig deep and think, what is one nuance? Think about your own learned and lived experience. Think about your own brand story. Think about what you value, all of those things that go into your personal brand. Think about tapping into those things. What is one nuance that I could add that would make the client experience more powerful? That's creating a really unique offer, right? So take these prompts with you this week. Let them marinate a bit. I feel like journaling prompts sometimes need a bit of time to marinate, and then just start writing and see what wants to come up. Honestly, your best offer isn't the one that looks most impressive when you compare it to whatever's already out there. Okay. It's not about that. Your best offer is the one that is so nuanced and sculpted and crafted to exactly what your ideal clients want and need, that for them, success feels inevitable if they invest in it. That is your best offer. Okay, I'm going to leave you to have a think about that one. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Do head to the show notes because you can copy and paste the journaling prompts from there. And also in the show notes is a link to sign up to my email list. Yes, we just call it an email list around here. We don't have a special name for it. But if you hop on the list, you do become something special because you become one of my VIP insiders. And with you, I share every week some of the stuff I don't share anywhere else. And I also send you a reminder of each week's podcast. And it's where I just, share a bit more of me, I guess. So if you want to know a little bit more about me and what goes on with me on a week-to-week basis, that is the place you're going to find out. Become one of my VIP insiders and hop on the list. Thank you so much for being here with me this week, and have a great one. I will see you back here same time, same place next week. Bye for now.